So, you've done everything right. You've hit all the milestones, you've climbed the ladder. I mean, by every single measure, you are a success. So, why does it sometimes feel like you're completely and utterly lost? Today, we're going to dig into the real and often hidden cost of how we define success. And this feeling, it's captured perfectly right here on the cover of Alok Singh's book, The Cost of Success. Just look at that subtitle for a second. It's not for everybody. It's a guide for a very specific person, someone who is, for all intents and purposes, winning, but inside feels totally lost. So, let me just ask you straight up. Have you ever hit that huge goal, gotten the big promotion, finally achieved something you've worked years for, only to be hit with this weird, hollow feeling? That sense that you've arrived, but you have no idea where here even is? That's the exact feeling we're unpacking today. Now, if you answered yes to that question, trust me, you are so not alone. This feeling is actually a huge phenomenon, and it's got a name: the success paradox. The book's subtitle really just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? Why modern professionals win the career game but lose direction. It perfectly nails that tension between what you've achieved on the outside and how confused you feel on the inside. You can be at the absolute top of your game, getting all the praise, and still feel completely adrift. So how on earth does this happen? Well, to get to the root of this paradox, we've got to look at the book's central metaphor, and it's a powerful one: the professional's compass. Think of it like your internal GPS, right? The thing that's supposed to be telling you which way to go in life. For a lot of us, probably most of us, from the moment we start our careers, that compass needle gets yanked hard in one direction. The first major point on the map: money. It's the number one metric we're all taught to chase, to maximize, above almost anything else. And right there with it, pulling just as hard, is the second magnetic force: status. We're talking job titles, recognition, prestige. Our entire professional lives basically train us to hunt down these two things like they're the only true north that exists. And this is exactly where things start to go wrong. Look at this. Society screams at us to chase the goals on the left: money and status. But while we're doing that, what are we giving up? We're often neglecting the most fundamental parts of life on the right: our family, and the one resource you can never, ever get back: our time. Okay, so what happens when our inner compass is so completely out of whack? What is the actual price of this kind of ambition? Well, the costs are way higher and way more personal than we usually like to admit. And these costs, they show up in real life. I'm talking about the birthday party you miss for a work deadline, or your health just getting pushed to the side because you're too busy. It's that guitar you love to play just collecting dust in the corner. It's that constant, nagging feeling that you just never have enough time for the people and things that actually light you up. And here's the reality of it, and it's pretty staggering. By focusing only on money and status, we are willingly ignoring 50% of the map to a good life. We're trying to navigate the entire world with only half the coordinates, and then we wonder why we feel so lost. Navigating with only half a map, well, that brings us right back to that core feeling, doesn't it? It explains exactly how it's possible to be winning by everyone else's rules, yet feel fundamentally deeply lost. Let's put a clear label on us: lost direction. It's that state of crushing all the external goals while having zero internal sense of purpose or fulfillment. It's like spending years climbing a ladder, only to get to the top and realize it was leaning against the wrong wall the whole time. This image just says it all, really. A compass is designed to show you all four directions. If it only points to two, it's not a compass anymore. It's broken. It's a trap, and it's pretty much guaranteed to lead you astray no matter how hard or how fast you run. So, if the compass is broken, that leads us to the most important question of all: how do we fix it? How do we even begin to do the work of recalibrating, of finding our own true north again? The way forward is all about a conscious reset, and it really comes down to 3 stages. First, you just have to acknowledge the full compass. Admit that money, status, family, and time are all real, valid, and necessary parts of a whole life. Second, and this is the hard part, you have to define what true north actually means for you, not for your boss, not for society. And finally, you just start. You navigate with intention, making small choices every day that honor all 4 points of your newly fixed compass. And that leaves us with one final and maybe the most crucial question of all. If you were to be totally honest with yourself right now and look at the life you're living,
at the choices you make every single day. What does your compass really point to?